Hello and welcome to the Games4all podcast, episode 10. I'm your host Dan Young, and with me as always is my good friend
James Craigie, sci-fi whore.
Okay, your intro is getting more obscure each week, but
I know.
Okay, it's cool. So we're gonna pretty much kick straight in with what we've been playing. It's been a bit of a weird week for me personally.
Yeah.
But why don't you start off?
I will start off, and this will be the last time I will mention this game. Lego Harry Potter. Got the full 1000 gamer score. Very happy. Never going to play it again.
Congrats. Well, you're not going to get a fanfare for that though, because you got one last week for actually finishing it.
I know. Yeah. But it is. It's done. It's dusted. Not going to play it again. I did kind of pick up Lego Star Wars, try and get a few more achievements on that, but I managed to stop that fairly soon.
I'm not so much a sci-fi whore. You're more of a Lego whore. So it seems.
Yeah, I'm a whore for lots of things.
Okay, let's not get into that. What else have you been playing?
Not a lot really, but I did pick up Dragon Quest 9 for the DS.
Okay, cool. We mentioned that in the other week, I think.
Yeah. I won't go too much into it because I know you're not a big JRPG fan.
Well, no, just mention the basics maybe, I don't know. Don't bore me.
I won't bore you. I have to say, main problem I have with games on the DS is they don't pull me in. Mm-hmm. There's only been a couple like the Professor Layton games. Oh, I've just noticed a comparison there. They've kind of pulled me in, but a lot of action games and RPGs and anything I've played, I find it difficult to play on the DS because I just can't get sucked into it.
Okay.
Dragon Quest 9, it feels like an old school console RPG. I'm actually getting drawn into it. I'm actually playing it like a proper game.
That's good. That's good that you're enjoying it.
But it's the fact that it's developed by Square Enix, which do the Final Fantasy games, which I actually think, perfectly honestly, Dragon Quest 9 better than Final Fantasy 13.
Okay.
Already, and I've only played a couple of hours into it.
Alright, fair dues.
No, and it's also developed by Level 5, who did Professor Layton. So
there you go then.
I think if you want engrossing games on the DS, get a Level 5 game.
Oh, there you go. So a pretty shining endorsement for Level 5.
Yeah, they do good stuff. They do good cutscenes.
Okay. Alrighty then. Excellent news. Are you anything else? Is that pretty much your week?
That's pretty much my week worth of gaming.
I guess you really did get sucked in then.
Yeah. I mean, I played it, and you know what I'm like with games. I kind of play it through, get a little way, find out how it works, and then I start again from the beginning. Yeah, you do like to restart
games quite a lot. Yeah,
I've restarted it twice, but I'm now into it.
I'm sure you'll probably restart again at some point.
No.
Oh, okay.
This is another thing I want to talk about though. Is apparently, by all accounts, quite a large game. Sort of 40 hours plus for a handheld.
Yeah, that's pretty immense.
And it's all the equipment and stuff you pick up and put on where it actually shows up on your character, which is pretty amazing. But it's only one save slot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I've noticed a lot of DS games do that. And it's a large game. Obviously, they can only fit so many things on it. But still, if I want my girlfriend to play it, which I really do, she might not play it, but if she did play it and get into it, she'd have to either...
She's got to wait for you to restart it 5 or 6 fucking times.
If she's got to wait for me to finish it, or she's got to delete whatever I do, which is a shame, really. Especially
I'm sure she'd go with the second option.
Yeah. Or we have to buy another copy of it, which I really don't see the point.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, it is multiplayer, but I don't have another DS. If I knew other people with DSs and copies of the game, then, or if I had another DS, I might have bought 2 copies.
Yeah.
But... no, as it is, and especially considering the ad campaign. Have you seen the ad campaign for it? It's a boy showing his mates how to do it.
Yeah.
That guy, he's obviously completed the game because he's not got his own save game, because he has to delete it all the time. So his mates can play it, and then they can't carry on playing it because he deletes it for his other mates to play.
Okay.
But no, it's I'm
really not sure where you're going with that. Okay.
I'm not entirely sure myself. That's my little rant. Is the fact that
I mean. Apart from the small gripe you have with the
technical, I suppose the technical limitation's okay, but I'd rather them make a slightly smaller game that you can have multiple save slots on.
Yeah.
Than
but I'm sure a lot of people would disagree with you.
Probably.
Because, most people just play it for themselves and get on with it.
Yeah.
But you're not one of those sort of people, are you?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all.
Well, other than that, that's that sounds... I mean, I guess it is a bit of a nuisance, only having one save slot, but most people probably don't care.
No, I mean, I'm playing through it, and I'll get through it, and I'm enjoying it.
Cool.
Like I said, it's just they've done a really good job of transferring over the PS2 style graphics and everything over to the DS.
Oh, excellent. So that's good too. Okay, so I'm going to go over what I've been playing.
Okay.
Last week I mentioned I was starting to play Dante's Inferno. I've played a little bit more. I'm not really going to talk about it.
Why not?
Because I've not really played that much more of
Okay.
it. And I'm not really... I would say I am enjoying it, but I'm not really enjoying it.
Are you struggling getting into it?
It just seems very repetitive and just... the puzzles sort of stump you for like a few minutes and you just figure out, okay, that was a bit dumb. And there are not easy solutions to like a lot of the puzzles in the game.
Yeah.
It's not really impressing me, to be honest. So I'm not really going out of my way. I'm not too eager to keep playing it. I probably will play it, and I hopefully will get it finished by next week so I can talk about it. I don't even want to waste time on this episode talking about it because there's not much to say about it. But so I have played a little bit of that. And something I think we've overlooked on the show is the Nintendo Wii.
Oh, yes.
Because we talk a lot about Xbox and PS3 and those games and stuff. So I thought I'd show a bit of love to the Wii. Went out and we got the new Super Mario Bros. Wii, which isn't that new anymore. It came out last year, and Super Mario Galaxy 2,
which is fairly new. Came out.
Which is a couple of weeks old now, maybe 3-4 weeks old. So we got a couple of new games for it, and I've played little bits of these games. I haven't actually got into them yet. It's something I want to sit down and get through, and when I do, I'll talk about it. But very impressed so far. The new Super Mario is awesome. Pretty, feels like old school Super Mario.
Yeah, I played a bit.
Yeah, you played a bit as well. Yeah, it's cool. It's very cool.
It does feel fun.
Yeah. Tiny bit. I've played a little bit, like a few minutes of Mario Galaxy 2. That's pretty cool so far. Haven't played the first one, so I don't know whether I should...
Apparently, by all accounts, apart from certain gameplay elements, the story and everything is exactly the same.
Oh, okay, fair dues. I'll probably just stick with number 2 then for now. But... when we picked these games up, I picked up a few more games on the cheap that I've been looking for, and these are the sort of games that I'm interested in. When we got a Wii in the house, I was like, now I can play this game and this game and this game, sort of thing.
It didn't quite work out like that.
No, but I mean, we got Dead Space Extraction with the Wii.
Yeah.
When we bought it, and I was like, I'm going to play that. But a couple of more games that I was interested in was Madworld.
Yeah.
And House of the Dead Overkill.
Yeah.
Which I managed to pick up, and I've played a little bit of each, probably about an hour of each last night. And Madworld's quite fun.
Yeah.
It reminds me even though I haven't played Bulletstorm, it's not out till next year, but like it reminds me a bit of that without obviously guns and stuff. You're like pretty much fucking up dudes with your hand and the chainsaw thing, But
certainly looked interesting.
It's
what I've seen of it.
For anyone who doesn't know, like Madworld it's a pretty hardcore game, like for the Wii, right? It's made by Sega and Platinum Games, I think. It's like a comic booky, black and white sort of
Sin City.
Sin City-ish, yeah. That's how it looks. It's basically you play this character whose sole objective really is just to beat the living fuck out of people and murder them in really horrible ways. And there's lots of blood. The only real colour in the game is red.
Nice.
And there's plenty of claret going about. So it's entertaining for what it is. I don't know how much longer that's going to remain entertaining. Whether it'll get boring or not, I don't know.
Is it in like a series of arenas, or is it like
pretty much. It's sort of like
realm?
The best way to describe it is like it's like a game show type thing, like, and there's commentary over the top of it, like you're on a TV show doing this, like Running Man kind of thing.
I was about to say, is it like the Running Man?
A bit like that, but without Arnold Schwarzenegger. And a hell of a
Only
lot.
in a rerun.
Okay,
so I love
a hell of a lot
Man.
more violence. It's fun. I mean, if at the end of the day, if anyone's got a Wii, they don't own this game and they're interested in it, check it out first by all means. But like, you can get it really cheap because it's been out for a while. And then House of the Dead Overkill. Even though the games are cheesy as fuck, I'm actually a big fan of House of the Dead.
Yeah,
I played a lot of it on the Dreamcast, like House of the Dead 2 especially.
Yeah.
Never got around to playing House of the Dead 3. I think that came out on Xbox and PS2, or do you believe in PC? House of the Dead 3?
Possibly, yeah.
Anyway.
I remember playing House of the Dead in the arcades and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the games are so cheesy, but they're so much fun. So I thought, hey, House of the Dead Overkill, it's going to be cheesy, but I'm actually surprised it's not more cheesy.
Oh.
It's set out very... the whole point of it is to make it look like 70s grindhouse cinema.
All right.
So it's very...
There's a lot of that going around at the moment.
Yeah. Like with Wet, for example.
Yeah.
That was that similar sort of
Yeah.
style to that. But overall, it's pretty much you use the Wii remote, you point and you fire and you kill zombies, and then you use the A button to reload. It's very basic, but it's kind of fun. So
Okay,
I'm
that's
looking
cool.
forward to playing more of that. I imagine that game to be quite short because it is, you know,
Yeah.
cause those games usually are, you know, you can complete like House of the Dead 2 in about half an hour, you know.
Yeah.
They're not very long games. So looking forward to playing more of that. Overall impression so far is pretty good. Like the overall presentation is quite neat actually for House of the Dead. Looked quite good on the Wii.
I have to say there are a few Wii games coming out soon that I'm looking forward to. So hopefully on the show we can show some more Wii love.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the name of the episode.
Wii love.
So yeah, we're I figured it's about time we talked a bit more about Wii games anyway. So
Yeah.
that's why. I mean, we wanted to get Mario and things like that, so we went out and got them. And I happened to see these other games as well, and I was like, yeah. I'll get these.
I know you've had a few Wii games that you've had sat on the shelf for ages and ages and ages that you've not really.
Well, Dead Space Extraction's definitely one of them, so I'm
Yeah.
hoping to play that as well. I don't have all the hours in the day to do this, but you know, I'll try. I mean, the Wii as a console, I like it, but I want to love it, sort of thing. But
Yeah.
I feel for me, the reason I don't love it so much is because, and I know it sounds really shit thing to say, it is. I think it is partly the sort of last gen graphics.
Yeah.
And on some of the games, the controls seem very tacked on and very like it wasn't really built for this console sort of
Yeah.
thing. I think the most fun games are like the Sports Resort and Wii Sports. I think that stuff's the first party Nintendo stuff. I think it's probably the most fun stuff on there. But Madworld was kind of fun to play. So is House of the Dead. So who knows?
Yeah. Well, I know I've got the Zelda Twilight Princess game, and control-wise, that actually transfers pretty well.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That's fairly solid.
Yeah,
Because I know it came out on the GameCube as well,
yeah.
and everybody says that the Wii version is the better version of
Mm.
its controls, even though they
They
have
say
the-
that about Resident Evil 4 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be picking that up at some point as well, I hope.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to start playing more Wii games just so I don't seem so biased. Because I mean, the only two consoles we've got on my house are 360 and Wii. So
Well, okay, then your mission for this weekend is to play more Wii games, and you can report about it next week.
yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to do that anyway.
Yeah,
That's pretty much my weekend planned. So,
right.
but my console of choice is 360, and I do feel that represents this current gen. Let's just say I keep saying next gen, but this current generation, a hell of a lot better than the Wii does. Wii just seems outdated to me.
Yeah.
I think that's what puts me off playing some of the games.
Yeah.
Which
There
is
is-
a shame.
Having sort of talked about sort of on that line of thought, there's a game that came out on the Wii. The sequel's just come out, I think, called No More Heroes.
Yeah, I remember.
I know they're doing a remake of that for the 360.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
HD
yeah.
graphics,
Yeah, you've
so-
said something about that before. I think not on the show, but to me,
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of cool if they do that. Yeah,
Yeah. So I'll be looking into that.
yeah.
And
If we can get some news on that on the show, that'd be pretty cool.
yeah,
Might
might be worth me seeing if I can pick up the original game for the Wii somewhere and maybe picking up the 360
and
version.
compare
doing
the
a
two. Yeah,
comparison.
absolutely. Well, that's cool. So for anyone who's been wanting more Wii stuff on the show, it's coming. So, all right. Well, I think that pretty much covers our first section. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about some of the latest gaming news. Hello and welcome back to the Games4all podcast, episode 10. Who thought we'd make it this far?
I did.
We are going to talk about some of the latest gaming news now. Our first thing we're going to mention is for anyone who hasn't heard about, well, hasn't played Modern Warfare 2, there is actually currently a demo. It's a little bit late to come out, but you know, there's a demo on Xbox Live and PlayStation Network you can download now. It's of the cliffhanger level in the game, and yeah, I think I think sales of this have sort of dipped a little bit, and now they've brought out a demo, and
Yeah.
because initially they wouldn't normally do this kind of thing, and this game's been out since November,
Yeah.
so
I have to be honest here. I think the sorts of people who would probably download and enjoy the demo probably already have the game.
yeah, it does seem a bit silly, like
Yeah.
a bit of a
I mean, chances are, if you weren't interested in the game, you haven't bought it already, you're not going to want to play the
this is
demo.
the sort of game that if you're even slightly interested in it, you probably have got it already, like you say.
But you never know. There might be a couple of people out there who will say, "Oh well, I wasn't really that into it, but I'll just play the demo," and they might love it.
This demo might get them a couple of thousand more sales. I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
who knows? I mean, for anyone who's interested, who likes shooters but hasn't got into this for whatever reason, download it and give it a go. It is one of the better levels in the game. So,
I mean,
in my opinion,
I'm downloading it. I mean, I do quite like Modern Warfare 1 and 2. I've not actually sat down and played them. I played bits of them around yours. I borrowed them a couple of. I do need to borrow them and play them, but I have downloaded the level.
I think you should play through it and then a few times maybe, because it's not a long level. It's like sort of 10 minutes maybe. Play through it a few times and get a feel for it, and then you never know, you might be really itching to play Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah,
I hope so. I mean, they are great games, so especially for shooter fans. But it does seem a bit of a weird move bringing out a demo now, and sort of it just seems a bit pointless. But I'm sure this may boost their sales from a little bit, but not a lot. I wouldn't have thought. But other Call of Duty news, because it's sort of a double story here. Activision released figures that show Call of Duty maps, and this isn't just for Modern Warfare. This is for the Call of Duty franchise altogether. They have sold 20 million. So there's made 20 million map packs sold for. I imagine it goes back as far as Call of Duty 2. Because I know Call of Duty 2 had some map packs on the 360, as did 3, and obviously 4 and World at War and Modern Warfare 2.
I think some of them, they're quite pricey.
Yeah. In some ways, I'm not. I don't know if I'm really surprised by this news, or whether I'm.
No, I mean,
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I've had a thought about this. Think about it on the way here. But like, Modern Warfare 2 on its own sold over 20 million copies in its first week or something stupid.
Yeah.
And so you think of all the map packs they've released for all these games, if they've only sold 20 million, it seems a bit of a small number actually for all the people who own these games. But not everybody buys map packs. To be honest, I don't own the map packs. No. I didn't buy any for Call of Duty 4, and I haven't bought any for Modern Warfare 2. It doesn't mean I don't want them, but I do feel they're a bit overpriced, and I don't know if I'll bother getting them or not. I don't play it online that much anymore enough to buy them.
No, but you do get people who play it online religiously.
Yeah, exactly. And for those people, those are the people who have contributed to this 20 million map pack sold. But that's great news. I mean, that's a lot of money made, to be fair. And if anyone knows how to make money, it's Activision, I think.
Yeah.
So, no, that's great. Speaking of another company that likes to make money, EA.
Yeah.
see what I did there? They're giving away beta codes for Battlefield 3 if you buy the limited edition copy of Medal of Honor. Which is kind of cool, you keep the beta thing going,
Yeah.
A lot of people who've pre-ordered Medal of Honor, which I have, are playing the beta currently. I haven't played it this week, but the beta for Medal of Honor, and then when you get Medal of Honor, you'll get a Battlefield 3 beta code. That's kind of cool, Yeah. Keep the games coming. Maybe they'll just keep this whole thing going, Maybe
you think when they release Battlefield 3, there'll be a
beta code for something else?
Beta code for Medal of Honor 2 or whatever.
Well, maybe not between those two franchises, but maybe for something else that's EA. I don't know.
The beta chain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Should market it to EA.
I think they probably would. I mean, I reckon that would do well. I reckon they'll sell a lot of copies.
Yeah.
Especially the limited edition version, even though there's not massive difference, I don't think, between the normal version and the limited edition of Medal of Honor. I think the limited edition is just the fact that you get a beta code with it, and a few extra guns for multiplayer or something. So that's quite cool. I think it's good. I mean, there's always been like games where you get beta codes. Like I think the prime example this generation is probably Crackdown, where you get the Halo 3 beta code and things like that. I know with Battlefield 2, Bad Company 2, whatever it's called, you did get a lot of people who bought that get a VIP code for EA's website, which entitles them to Medal of Honor. So it kind of is, it is a chain of betas and buying games and pre-ordering and getting limited edition copies and stuff.
Oh well, people get a chance to test the games. They get a chance to see what it's all about,
and maybe this is a good way of enticing people into buying the slightly more expensive copy of the game.
Yeah. I personally am pro beta. I think they're a great idea.
Yeah, so do I. But they can work against the game.
True, but
rarely, to be fair.
Yeah,
but there are times when it can destroy a game. I think.
Yeah.
If the beta comes out and it's total dog shit. I mean, I liked the Medal of Honor beta, but I think some people who initially would have played it and seen all these bugs in it perhaps would have thought, fuck this, and put it down.
Yeah. But in the end,
and maybe
I think
the
a lot of people... I think this was the point I was trying to make just a second ago before I completely forgot about it. Now it's just jumped back into my head. The whole point of a beta is you are testing it. We are...
Yeah.
If you're accepted into the beta and you get the beta, you are basically signing on as a free unpaid member of staff to test it and find bugs and all that. And a lot of people just want beta so that they can play the game early.
Yeah.
Not realising that it is still early code. It's still a lot.
Well, no, I mean, obviously I realise that, but like some people probably don't see it that way.
I mean, I look on forums and stuff about people who want to get hands on betas, and it's quite obvious that they just want to play the game early. They're not actually interested in
helping out,
helping the bugs. But whereas I like betas in the fact that if it's a beta for a game you're really looking forward to and really enjoy, or a franchise that you know you enjoy, it's your opportunity to try and make it as good as it can be.
No, exactly. So I say a lot of gamers probably don't think of it that way. So interesting way of thinking.
So if you're one of those gamers and you don't think of it that way, think of it that way.
Yeah.
This is your chance. If you play it and you don't like the game, tell them you don't like the game. Tell them what's wrong with it, and they can fix it.
Yeah.
And make it a better game.
Goddamn selfish.
I know.
Anyway, bloody selfish bastards.
Well, that's rant 2 of the show. So many more we can get in.
Yeah, we'll probably squeeze a few more in before we even get to the end of the last segment. So Nintendo have released some data. Because they track a lot of data on the most popular games played on the Wii. It's more Wii news right now. And they released a list of the top 20 most played games on their console, right? So this is straight from Nintendo. No third parties collected this data. This is Nintendo's data. We're not going to go through the top 20, but I'll just release the top 5 and, see if you're surprised by any of it or not, right? So the 5th most played game on the Wii apparently is Guitar Hero 3. Yeah, I'm surprised at that because I would have thought it'd at least be Guitar Hero 5.
Yeah,
which is the newest one, or maybe even World Tour, because that came out. I mean, this Guitar Hero 3 is like about 3 or 4 years old now, so it seems strange that is quite popular. But maybe there's a lot of bundles or something sold at some point.
Maybe.
So that's the 5th most played game apparently.
Is this over the whole lifespan of the Wii? Or just
this is in the last month.
In the last month. Oh, okay.
So that makes
that makes it even worse.
I know. So anyway,
okay.
This is why I'm surprised by this. So at number 4 is Harvest Moon, Animal Parade.
Oh.
Do you even know what that is? I don't know what that is, to be honest.
Harvest.
I know what Harvest Moon is, but I don't really know this game.
I don't know. It's one of those. You see, I'm probably going to offend a lot of Harvest Moon fans now.
I do it.
Mind you, I don't think people who play Harvest Moon listen to our podcast. They're not our kind of people anyway. So
I don't know, to be honest. So.
Harvest Moon.
Yeah,
it just seems pointless, cutesy pie, crappy rubbish bollocks. That's what it seems to me. So no, it's sort of casual in the extreme. It's like, oh yeah, look, animals, farms, do this, do that, have a little cutesy pie.
You can probably argue a few games for the Wii like that, but I think this is probably, like you say, the most extreme example of that.
Yeah,
over the top cute sort of bullshit.
It's Satan's sperm.
Sorry,
it's rant number 3.
Fucking hell, man! Told you. Okay, so we're in at number 4. Okay, at number 3, Monster Hunter. Try.
Not surprising for me, actually. I've got it. I actually quite like it.
It is quite a popular game, and I think that probably will go up a little bit more in the top 20. But
the thing, I mean, it's got a really big sort of multiplayer aspect for it.
Yeah,
and especially people going in teams and hunting things, but. It just strikes me as it's like an MMO, a particularly grindy MMO, without actually being an MMO.
Right, that is.
It's it's kind of like the hunting monsters part of it is actually a very small part of it, but I suppose sort of the hunter-gatherer game wouldn't sound as good.
No, probably not.
But no, I kind of like it. There's a lot of stuff to it, but it does require a lot of time.
Right, okay.
And not surprising it's
I mean, it's, like I say, it's sold quite well.
Also graphically, it's one of the nicer games.
Excellent.
It kind of like utilises as much of the Wii's power as it can.
Cool.
So.
Alrighty then. At number 2, the second most popular game played on the Wii, Animal Crossing.
Sea Harvest
Rant number 4.
no, I'm not even going to bother. It's giving me a headache. Just let's see Animal Crossing. And that kind of see.
Okay, number one is Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
Not surprising.
Nah, it's pretty much the most popular game on the Wii.
It's a wicked game.
So, I mean, I'm guessing there's a few surprises in there for you personally.
Yeah, I'm surprised like Super Mario Brothers Wii isn't on there.
Yeah, no, it isn't. Well, I can't remember what was in the top 20. It's not in the top 5 though.
No, but
yeah.
Nice. Smash Brothers.
Some quite strange data there, to be honest.
Yeah. It's kind of Harvest Moon, Animal Crossing. People, why?
Okay, well, we'll move on from that story. This is something you mentioned to me, actually, about Ken Levine. He's actually going to be unveiling a new game next week.
Yes.
There'll be a trailer for it up, apparently, on August 12th. So,
you excited?
I'm a little intrigued. I want to know what's going on here. Because he's sort of the dude behind System Shock and, Bioshock 1.
Is he doing Bioshock 3?
Well...
Will it be System Shock 3?
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of questions have been asked about.
Will it be something completely different, which I think is probably more likely?
It's probably going to be something completely different. Although I'm sure Bioshock 3 is probably...
In the works.
And I think I did read something about a rumour about that possibly happening.
I personally would like to see another System Shock.
I would be interesting if they did release a new System Shock game, but I don't know. I don't want to speculate too much because I'll sound like a fucking idiot come next week, but...
Have you played the old ones?
No.
If you can pick them up for your PC,
I will try.
I
will try. Yeah,
I think you'd like them.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. But it would be interesting if that happened, like a new this current generation System Shock. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm not going to speculate any further than that, though. To be honest.
No.
I think, like what you said a minute ago, it's probably going to be just a whole new IP altogether.
Yeah.
But with Ken Levine behind it, I'm actually kind of excited because he was pretty much the dude who, if anything, when the original Bioshock came out, he pretty much sold it to me, to be honest. He's got he put a lot of commitment into that game, and you can tell he's really passionate about making games, so
and
he cares.
Got to say, I mean, you're not really one who plays games for the story, are you? You're sort of more
occasionally. I do like my action fix and that and what have you, but I don't know if you can weave a really good story into that really cleverly, like Bioshock, then
which is what he does, which is what I mean. He has a way of making enjoyable games, but giving them that depth.
That's what I mean. That's why I'm excited by this news. Yeah. I mean, this could be any fucking thing. He could be making a Harvest Moon game. It's unlikely, but
I mean, he's one of those kind of. Don't want to say Rockstar developers because he doesn't work for Rockstar.
He's not quite that status yet, I don't think. But he's
well known, and he has a certain.
He's got a reputation,
seal of quality. About him.
No, and I agree. And I am.
That's my seal impression.
Great. I am excited by this because it's Ken Levine announcing a game, and I think he is quality. But there you go. We'll see what happens.
Should I go on a rant about announcements about announcements?
We could have a whole show there. I think we should save it for a whole show.
Yeah.
That's next week's show.
Yeah. We will be making an announcement about that show next week.
Yeah, we'll announce it.
This is me announcing this now.
Okay, excellent. Okay, well, the last bit of news we're going to mention is...
The last bit of news you're going to mention.
Yes.
I have a bit of news which you don't think is newsworthy.
Oh, okay. Well, you can mention it at the end. Okay. The first of 3 parts of the Dead Rising movie.
I mean, the first 3 parts.
First 3 parts, sorry, of the Dead Rising movie are actually available to download online and on Xbox Live. Basically, for anyone who doesn't know, I think it's the creator of Mega Man who's actually directed a feature-length Dead Rising movie.
Awesome.
That sounds pretty cool. It's like 80 minutes or some shit, right? And they've cut it up into 8 parts, so I'm guessing around about 10 minutes a piece.
So, what kind of movie is it? Is it CG? Is it live action? Is it?
It's live action, and I think it's really like B-movie style.
Which is cool. Which is
sort
kind
of like really cheap and dirty kind of shite.
Which is what Dead Rising sort of like.
I think I've only seen a few trailers for it leading up to this. I knew this was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to be like an episodic type. Well, released episodically. So I haven't actually watched this yet. I've downloaded it. I haven't actually watched this yet because I hadn't had the time before coming out to watch it. But the first 3 parts are out now. Free to. I mean, either go on their website and watch it on there, or download it through Xbox Live in HD. First 3 parts are up. 2 more parts are up next week, and then another 2 parts the following week, and then the following week after that, leading up to, I think, the game coming out. There's the last part is released on its own. So
I know. It'll
be interesting.
I know I say in little air quotations, the demo is on its way this month.
Yeah,
end of the month, I think. So
that'll probably lead up to that, I would have thought.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, we might talk about it next week, maybe. I'll try and watch them.
Yeah, I'll try and check them out.
Yeah, so there's 2 episodes a week coming out pretty much, apart from the last one, which comes out on its own. So next couple of weeks will be interesting, downloading little bits of a movie.
Yeah.
It's different. It's a nice little, I don't know, it's drumming up a bit of interest for Dead Rising 2. I mean, I'm interested in it anyway, but like, I think it's just a little extra, and it's free, so you can't moan.
No, absolutely.
Even if it's dog shit, you can't moan really, because you're not paid for it. So,
true. But
if anyone wants to get that on Xbox Live, or go online and just search for it, it'll probably on YouTube by now. Who knows? It's probably everywhere if you type it in. I think it's what is it called? Zombrex Dead Rising Sun. Yeah, it's not the catchiest of titles, to be fair. Just type in Dead Rising movie. I think that'll probably do.
No,
Google that. So, you've got some news, James.
Yes, I've got some news.
I can see you're really eager to tell us. What is it?
Yeah, 'cause you didn't want me to say anything.
No, I just said I didn't think this was like news, but go on.
Well, it's probably no big surprise to you that I am a huge Batman fan.
Yeah. Not only a Batman fan, but a fan of pugs singing to Batman theme tunes. Go on YouTube.
YouTube. That is amazing.
Type in Batman pug. I think that's what you got to do. Yeah, go on anyway.
But no, obviously a little game came out a while ago called Batman Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, I played the demo and I felt it was sort of mediocre, but that's pretty much just the demo. I can't base my whole opinion of the game. I haven't played the game. I've just played a small snippet of it, so I can't. But I didn't like it that much.
Well, Batman games in general, I think there's probably been 1 or 2 good ones previous to this generation. The rest have been, and that's 1 or 2 out of about 20 odd.
The original Batman for the Mega Drive was pretty sweet.
I think that was one of the good ones. But no, it's basically, it doesn't have a good track record of making good games. But then Arkham Asylum came out and everyone loved it. I loved it as a Batman fan of the comics, films, cartoons, whatever. I thought it was brilliant. It's been known for ages. It was announced a while ago as a teaser released of the sequel to Arkham Asylum. And a little while ago, Warner Brothers trademarked a whole lot of websites that seem to have something to do with it.
Yeah.
Various names are possible. It has now been announced that it actually has a name.
Yeah.
It's called Arkham City. It is set in a small section in the middle of Gotham that has been closed off and where the inmates are now running wild. It is set to release autumn next year.
Yeah.
I was going to say fall then I remembered I'm not American. But no, I'm really, really excited about this. I was kind of hoping that they were going to call it Ashes of Gotham, because out of all the websites that they trademarked, that was kind of like the coolest sounding. But
yeah, I'd probably prefer that over
Arkham City. That's fine.
That'll do.
Works.
Why not?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much confirmed that Two-Face is going to be in it.
Cool.
Who was one of the better characters I think you liked from The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Catwoman's going to be in it.
Meow.
She was in.
Sorry.
Genius.
Yeah.
Genius.
Okay, go on.
But yeah, couple of other actors have kind of announced that their roles in it. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be star-studded.
Cool. Well, that's good. I mean, I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, Mark Hamill's back as the Joker after saying that Arkham Asylum was going to be his last go.
Yeah.
And then he said, oh, I'll come back and I'll do Arkham Asylum 2.
Yeah.
Arkham City. Of course, he's also the Joker in DC Universe Online. But I suppose since he voiced...
money to be made, hey.
I think he voiced that before he voiced the lines for Arkham Asylum 2, so that probably does mean that this will be his last time.
Right.
But no.
Wow. Cool news for Batman fans.
Yeah. And game fans in general. I mean, the first one, it got the BAFTA for Game of the Year. And it got nominated for so many Game of the Year awards and kind of lost out to Uncharted 2.
All right, fair dues. Well, that pretty much concludes our news section for this week. So we're going to take another quick break, and we'll come back, and there won't be any game releases for this week, because I don't think there's anything really coming out, so we're just going to come straight back with our topic for the week.
Hey.
Hello and welcome back to the Games4all podcast. We're going to skip new releases this week
because there are none.
Because there pretty much aren't anything worth talking about. It sounds a bit harsh, but there really isn't much. So we're going to go straight ahead and talk about our topic for the week. And this week's topic is whether reviews and or the hype machine influence our gaming purchases or our gaming tastes.
Yeah.
So basically speaking,
I'm a slave to the hype machine.
I think we all are to a degree. I mean, let's be honest. Games are like, there's a lot of websites out there that show off game footage and trailers. I mean, for example, you mentioned the DC Universe Online trailer the other day.
Yeah.
It was 5 minutes long, and it wasn't really anything to do with the game.
Well,
but it wasn't any gameplay in there. It was just all fucking bells and whistles, right?
But I can say with the hype machine of DC in general, it's one of those few games that since it was like first announced, you've been able to like play it, which I think is fairly different because they've been taking it to like Comic-Con and everything. They've had things there right from the very early stages.
That's cool, but for you and me sat at home,
yeah, true.
Yeah, what they are building hype for a game that you won't be able to play for a couple more months.
I know.
I know you're already sold on this, but for the average Joe who may not be quite so bothered either way, do you really think that a 5-minute trailer is going to be influential? I mean, that's what they're trying to do, is drum up interest. Look at this fucking cool trailer we've got. Is it...
Well...
Please go out and buy our game, it's going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what they're saying.
Yeah, but a lot of that's going on at the moment. I mean... Square Enix are notorious for it, for like the Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, true.
They did with IDOS. They did the Deus Ex trailer, which was our favourite trailer.
We did. I mean,
that's pretty
trailers are all for hype. Let's be fair.
Yeah, but also BioWare are doing it with their Old Republic MMO, and it's the same company who made made those trailers.
Yeah,
and they're good. I think. If you watch them knowing that they're not actually anything to do with the game, they just kind of like
give you an idea of
the spirit of what the feeling of.
But that can be misleading, though. Let's be fair.
It can be misleading, but only if you're gullible enough to actually think that wow, this is what the game's going to be.
I mean, not so much that, but like as far as gameplay elements, maybe.
Yeah,
they might show you a lot of stuff in the game you can't actually do. If you know what I'm saying. I
mean, on this trailer alone. I mean, as soon as I knew the game was coming out, I'd get it, just simply for the premise. That's because I am a DC fanboy.
Yeah.
But I think on the trailer alone, it wouldn't have sold me. I wouldn't have... If it was any other game or anything, I wouldn't...
Yeah.
I'd watch it, I'd enjoy the trailer, say, wow, that's a great trailer. I'd then keep an eye out for gameplay.
Yeah, and then see what the game was really like.
Yeah.
And then, exactly. Well, that's sort of how I go about it. If I see a cool trailer, I'll be like, oh, yeah, that's a pretty cool trailer. I mean... Whether there's gameplay in there or not, I'll still probably say, I quite like that. But I don't then go, wow, that looks absolutely amazing. I mean, the one thing I think, let's say with the Call of Duties, the one thing they do is pretty much show all gameplay, or because with the Modern Warfares, there's pretty much no cutscenes.
No.
It's all game.
Yeah.
So they pretty much make a trailer out of gameplay, and it's all gameplay. And I suppose with the Black Ops trailer, that's all gameplay. Pretty much.
Yeah.
So those are the sort of trailers I like, because you know that you are going to experience these things all near enough anyway.
Yeah.
That's the stuff you can do in the game. That's what the game looks like.
Yeah.
I like hype to a degree. I think certain things are really overhyped.
Oh yeah. You see, that's the risk. Some people, they like overhype something, and then when it comes out, it's a disappointment.
Exactly.
I mean, I know Alpha Protocol, it's by Obsidian. Obsidian don't have a good rep overall. I mean, a lot of their games are fairly rushed, even though back in the day their games were immense, and I think a lot of the fans remember those days and remember that Obsidian used to be Black Isle, and remember those games. This game, Alpha Protocol, is supposed to be a spy espionage,
slightly
RPG.
Mass Effect-y.
Sort of Mass Effect meets the Bourne trilogy.
Yeah.
And as a premise,
sounds cool.
That sounds really,
if somebody
really
said
cool.
to you, this game's coming out, this is what it is.
Yeah. And I was really, really excited about it.
Yeah.
But I didn't get it on launch.
Yeah.
Which I'm probably a bit thankful for, because after seeing all the reviews, it's another thing on topic as well.
Yeah.
It was such a letdown, and my immediate thought was, that's so disappointing. I really, really wanted the game to be good.
Yeah.
And that just shows like how hyped up I got for it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think you and me are pretty much the same. When we'll take the hype so far, and then we'll still probably wait for that review, or for someone's first impressions of a game, or if it's something we know we're going to enjoy. I mean, you're going to enjoy DC Universe Online, so you're going to get it probably whatever. And like Fallout New Vegas, you're going to get that because you pretty much know what you're going to get, right?
Yeah.
But
at the same time, I do have a little bit of hesitance about Fallout New Vegas, because it's not developed by Bethesda, it's developed by Obsidian, which is kind of a double-edged sword. I'm kind of hoping that the guys working on it will make it more like the old days back when Fallout 1 and 2, because they're like basically the same people who did Fallout 1 and 2 working on the new one.
Okay, well, let's not make it so much about the games, because the topic is about games in general.
The hype,
but, I'll buy into the hype a little bit, I think. We all do, I think. As gamers, we like that a little bit. We like to be wowed by trailers and cool shit, but like, for me, I like to hear the real kind of, this is this person's thoughts. I don't take reviews as gospel, but I do like to read reviews and see how critics rate stuff, Metacritic is a great website. You go on there, it's pretty much makes an average of all these reviews that are put out on the internet and gives it a basic score, and there's a user score as well. So like, it gives you a rough idea of how good something is.
Yeah, because you can go to various sites, and one reviewer may love a game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And another guy may hate it for exactly the same reasons that the other guy loves it.
Yeah.
It just depends on who they've got reviewing it at the time.
So I like to read several reviews, but I don't go too far out my way sometimes. I mean, like, most of the games I've bought lately, I kind of know I'm going to like them. But if it's something that I think there's going to be a bit of a risk, that I've been hyped up for a little bit, and it's not a game that I'm sure about.
And sort of play it before you buy it,
or I mean, that's where demos come in, because they are handy. But like, reviews can be pretty handy as well. I do like to read some reviews.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think as to whether they actually influence me as far as purchasing a game. Possibly. I know that on like a lot of game cases, they do stick a lot of crap on there, like fucking 85% by Xbox Magazine or whatever. Like official Xbox Magazine rated this game 9 out of 10 or whatever. And it's like, yeah, that's great, but that ain't a review. That's just a number on a box.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You want to know why did they do it?
Yeah.
Did they review it that high?
But I think a lot of people go, "Ooh, that must be good. I'll get it."
But what if, say, you're like, the difference between you and me, you prefer like your action, your games. I prefer games that are more grounded in story. Yeah. Did it get that 9 out of 10 for the story or for the action?
Yeah, you don't. I mean, it's an overall score, I imagine.
Yeah.
But you still don't know where it falls flat.
Yeah.
if it doesn't anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if
9 out of 10, it can't be falling too flat, but
no,
there's got to be areas that that probably aren't as good as others. That you just want to know about the details, really.
Yeah. Which is kind of why I like, because again, we'll talk about like the two main types of hype. There's the not showing you anything and just building up the hype through secrecy.
That I kind of like.
Yeah.
That I kind of like.
Yeah, because you're surprised by it. And but that could go either way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It can go either way anyway, but yeah.
Whereas you get the more sort of restrained hype where they actually show you, they let reviewers and everything have like hands-on previews and everything, so they can tell you their thoughts on how it's progressing.
Yeah.
So you know pretty much what you're expecting.
Yeah.
So you're not too disappointed either way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that does lose a bit of the mystique about it.
The mystery is sort of gone, but... I mean, I don't think, personally, I'll round this up by saying that the hype machine, it gets me excited for games, it puts them on my personal radar. If I see something related to it, I'll go, yeah, I'll watch that or something. Or some gameplay, that game that I'm interested in, I'll watch that. And most of the time, like I say, my main purchases, I know I'm pretty much going to enjoy. The game I was most excited for this year, Crysis 2, has actually been delayed till next year. But a game like that, I know I'm going to enjoy. It's a kick-ass first-person shooter, and I'm going to like it. So I might not even read a review about it. I'll just go get it.
Yeah.
But say, I don't know, I can't really think of an example, but I'm sure there's a game out there that's coming out that, say for example, Kane Lynch 2 comes out this month.
Yeah.
Right? Had we not played that demo of it, had the demo not been available, and knowing how much of a risk I took getting the first game, right, because the first game was a big flop.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's made me reluctant about the second game. Had we not been able to play the demo and see it for ourselves, or had any kind of hands-on experience with it, I would have waited for a review to come out.
Yeah.
And then base that off. So it does influence my decision a little bit, but not on all the games that I get.
Yeah.
Most of the games, so like new Call of Duty, I'm now going to enjoy it.
Yeah,
it might not be the best Call of Duty, it might not, but I'm still going to enjoy it. I'm still going to have fun. I know what I'm going to get.
Yeah, I mean, because you get like your Call of Duties and you get your Gears of Wars where they make improvements on it, but at
the basic
core,
gameplay is much the same.
The same,
time,
and you're going to enjoy it. Where it's like the new experimental titles, like I remember when the first Assassin's Creed came out, the hype for that was insane.
Well, that's true. And a lot of people didn't like that game, and I enjoyed it, but
it did.
Had I read this is where it could have gone the other way. Had I read all the reviews and waited for that, I perhaps wouldn't have played it, and I'd be missing out because I enjoyed that game.
Yeah.
So really, I mean,
it's another form of advertising. It markets certain people. I think we need the hype machine. Yeah,
we need it. Like I say, the hype machine gets it on my radar. If it's something I know I'm going to enjoy, or if I've experienced something similar to it before, and it's a sequel to whatever, I'll pretty much get it without even thinking twice.
It's a big beast to categorise because there are so many different ways of building up the hype.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's all there. I think, like it or hate it or love it or loathe it, it's not going anywhere.
Well, it's an interesting topic to talk about. If you've got any thoughts that you'd like to add to that, we can mention them on next week's show.
What games are you hyped about?
Yeah. Do you think the hype machine's a load of old bollocks? And are you influenced by reviews?
Would you like to see a photo of the hype machine?
Nobody's ever seen a photo of the hype machine.
No.
You wouldn't get close enough to be able to take a photo of it. No. You'd be shot on sight.
Well.
Anyway.
How big is the hype machine? Could you get a photo of it up close? Would you need to stand back a bit and maybe kind of like step in the fountain?
Possibly. Anyway, so yeah, if you've got any, sorry about that.
It's just we've been saying hype machine. I'm just building up this image in my head of what it looks like.
Sorry about this. If you've got an opinion on this, you want to express it. You want to tell us about it. If you'd like us to mention it on next week's show, please feel free to email us, podcast@games4allpodcast.com. We'd love to hear from you, even if it's not about the topic we've been talking about. Just generally want to say hello or want to get a mention on the show. That's the email address to send your email to. Let's see what else we've got.
Website.
The website is www.games4allpodcast.com with the number 4.
Yeah, and on the website you've got links to our Facebook page and Twitter. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's twitter.com/Games4all.
Absolutely.
And if you're on Facebook, just type in Games4all podcast and you should find us.
Yep, pretty much. Well, there is a link on the website, like you just said. Thank you very much for listening. I know we've had at least 4 rants in this show.
I know, I'm slipping.
There's been a lot of chat this week.
We've had to do something about
we've
that.
overrun a little bit compared to normal, but I want to thank you for listening and putting up with us for another week.
You've been putting up with me.
Well, yeah. But thank you for listening to us, especially if you've been with us from the beginning. We're only 10 shows in, so we're still kind of getting our feet wet here. But want to thank you guys for listening, downloading the show, subscribing. Please give us some feedback. We'd love to hear from you. Email us, podcast@games4all.podcast.com, or iTunes reviews. They're always good.
We are on iTunes.
We are on iTunes. Yeah, you can search for us on iTunes. I mean, you're listening to this, you've downloaded it from somewhere. So if you want to subscribe, iTunes is probably the easiest way. We're also on Podcast Alley. We're ranking getting close to top 1,000 podcasts on Podcast Alley. That's pretty cool.
Awesome.
So thanks, guys, for getting us up there. We'd like to get up further. We want to improve the show as much as possible, but to do that, we need your feedback. So please email us. Please write a review. Anything, just get in contact with us. That'd be awesome, and let us know how we're doing. And if you can think of anything we can do to make the show better, then please let us know.
I think we should say goodbye now.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.